Casualty increases meaningful experience. Now, because experience is best as a teacher, may your teachings have value that ultimately determine your price tag. So my message to you all is for you not to undersell yourself by buying into cheap experiences, because your value at the end of all that will be cheap. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I believe as you were coming through, you picked up pieces of paper as you were walking in. Did you pick up pieces of paper with the quote on them? Awesome. I'm going to ask you one by one to come and to share what is written on the piece of paper and what you understand from the quote that is on the piece of paper, how it affects your life and how it inspires and encourages you. So I'll start here. You didn't get one. Okay, let me go there.
And you can't be real with others if you aren't real with yourself. Yes, so for me, basically that's why I'm here today. Because I'm at a point in my life where I met a few ladies last week who invited me to this class. And I was sharing with them that I wanted to join them in what they were doing. So I told them, I said, I think right now, to be honest, I'm just sitting here not being busy. I'm not doing anything productive. I'm not doing anything impactful. So I've been sitting here since the beginning of the year until today, and I can't say I've made anything of it for now. So for me, the thing was I needed to be real with myself. This is like the 3rd month of the year. What have I done to impact someone else's life? I've done a lot of eyes. What have I done? That does not benefit me personally. So I said, I need to be real with myself. I haven't done anything yet, and for me to start, it starts with being real with me.
Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. What it means to me, it just talks of life in general and life as even way I experience it. And it also says to me, the more problems, the more challenges, if you have a positive mindset, they should actually make you a better person. So we should embrace challenges and embrace problems.
The way people can believe in your dream is when you start living out the dream. For me, I've been having a lot of ambitions, I've been having a lot of goals and dreams, but I haven't done anything to show that it can materialize. Yes, so I think, yeah, that's it.
Since you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you, I will give men in exchange for you and people in exchange for your life. As it stands right now, I love and understand the first part of that scripture where it says, since you are precious and honored in my sight.
Life is a tough nut to crack, but it will eventually be fruitful.
We're looking at ourselves as products. Are we together? As you look at yourself and as you carry yourself, you realize that there are people who will come to you, negotiate your worth, and because you do not understand your worth, or because you want to get something out of that person, you will devalue yourself, discount yourself, and this person accesses you at a lower price than you are worth. So the focus of the one who is selling, the focus of the product is not in the price, but it is in what the buyer says to them. Be careful of people who come to you with good negotiation skills, because at the end of it all, you end up losing your worth because of someone who negotiated you for what you were not worth. Walk into an Indian shop, it is hard to come up with a discount, because they know their what? They know the value of their product. No matter how good your negotiation skills are, they will negotiate better. You might even buy the product for a higher price. The seller does not offer discounts if the buyer does not ask for one. This is something very important. The seller does not offer what? Discounts. Until the buyer does what? Asks for one. When you know your worth, you do not devalue yourself until the person who sees something missing in you tells tells you what you are worth and asks you for a discount. People who have discounted themselves, it is not that they do not have personal worth, but it is because that they do not have mental strength to reject the discount offer. And this is where we are today with many people who are walking around discounted prices, carrying a price tag of discount. The seller depends on the what can I get mentality. It is not the value of the product that they're looking at, but it is what they can get out of the buyer that matters to them. And this is where we get the blessee mentality. They do not value the product, but they value what they get out of the buyer. Because they have what? They have discounted themselves. The buyer most of the time can afford you. Most of the time the buyer can afford you. But because they see an empty price tag or some potential to lower the price, they put their own mark to see if you will agree to it. Discounted people do not care what they give out, but they only care about what they get in return. What you get in return is never worth what you gave out. Are we together this evening? Yes. There are people who will give out a whole lot, and what they get in return doesn't match the price that they offered. So be careful for discounted people, because there are quite a number of them in our society today. And be careful that you're not a discounted person yourself. Don't offer people too much for a small price. Are we together? Don't offer people something more than they had bargained for. Number two, I love this group of people. Number two, the 95 Thebe, 99 Thebe people. Why do I love these people? This is group number two. Why do I love these people? These people offer a product for a slightly lesser price to entice what? More buyers. If the buyer sees one pula there, they will not go. But if they see 95 Thebe, they will go. Why? These people have overlooked the value of the 5 Thebe. There are small things in your life which matter most later on in life. So many of us overlook the little things we go through and forget about them until they reveal themselves as bigger problems in the future. Are we together? We overlook these little things. More buyers will be attracted to the lesser price, but you will not receive the full worth of your money because you have offered more for what seemed less. Listen to this. Every cent that is counted is what makes up a million. You will never get to a million if you do not have a cent. You will never get to the big numbers if you do not have the cent. So it is the small things in your life that matter most to you. Do not give people small chunks of your heart and think you will still survive with the bigger piece. You will give your heart to 10 people who will take 10 chunks that will mess up your heart for good. In the market of life, the smallest difference plays the major role. Right? The smallest difference does what? Plays the major role. Stop overlooking that which seemed irrelevant, because it will always come back to haunt you when the balance sheet of life does not add up. When things do not add up, you will go in life looking at the bigger problems, trying to solve the bigger issues of your life, not noticing that it is the little things that messed up, that got messed up back in the past, that are the ones which are the problem. It is the little cents that make up a million. Don't take them for granted. Don't take them for granted. And I've said this, you would not have $1 million if you do not have the first cent. You would not have $1 million if you do not have the first cent. Number three, my favorite, personal favorite. Number three. I'll tell you why it's my favorite. These people are very interesting. These people are very interesting. They are very different from the discount, slightly different from the discounted ones. Why are they different? The discounted ones base their discount on the negotiation, right? But these ones who are on special offer the special themselves without being asked for a reduced price. They offer the special without even a negotiation, right? They have willingly devalued themselves. Willingly done what? Devalued themselves without being negotiated for, in order to be accessible to many buyers. Comes back to the blesser-blessee mentality. They have made themselves accessible to have a guy who drives a Range Rover, one who drives a Merc, one who drives all the cars, just so they're accessible and they see what comes in and not concerned about what goes out. Many buyers are usually caught by surprise when the product worth more is often sold for less. So be careful if you're on special, and this brings something very important to me. Most products on special usually have a malfunction. There is usually something wrong when something goes on special. Bringing it back to us, there is usually something wrong with the person. Emotional scars from the past, which will only reflect in the future when you're now with this person. Trauma from the past, which will reflect in the future when you're now with this person. There are some malfunctions you will not see firsthand until you take the product home. There are some malfunctions you will not see until you have lived and analyzed the product, pressed a few buttons on it, and that's when you see the malfunction come to play. And you will regret wanting a refund, yet it was clearly written, no refund. There are people you can't take back to where they came from. I'll come to that later on. But most products which are on special usually have a what? A malfunction. The sad part of a sale is that even those who are not worth you can afford you. Those who are not what? Worth you can do what? Afford you. The little guy who begged his whole day for 100 pula, a few coins, got 100 pula, which you have priced yourself at. And he comes and purchases you for that 100 pula. But because you have valued yourself at that, he will go home with you. He does not deserve you, but he has earned you because of your pricing. This is why people break up, divorce, because the price did not match the buyer. Or the buyer did not match the price. He had the money once off. He got a tender once in his life. And then he saw that you are worth it. He came and bought you. The money ran out. And now you guys are at loggerheads at home. I'm not talking about financial things. I'm talking about you as a product. You guys are not meeting halfway anymore. Because what he bought you for is the malfunction that you now possess. Stop being accessible to everyone and making them think that they look good at your expense. If people cannot reach your standard, let them go. If people cannot reach your standard, do what? Let them go. Don't lower your standards for someone who's afraid to climb the ladder to get to where you are. There are people who will climb the ladders for everyone else, but not for you, but they want some of you. There is a difference, I need you to know, there is a difference between being on special and being special. Many of us in here, if not all of us, are special until we put ourselves on special. You get the difference? Many of us are special. We are very special in our own right. Valuable. Until we put ourselves on special to be accessible to who? To everyone. And you need to know this difference, that in as much as we are special, we are different, and our differences are what make us one. And no one is 50% off. Are we together? Stop discounting yourself. Stop putting yourself on sale, because there is no 50% off sign you can put on yourself. Put yourself at a whole price, where people will access your worth, where people will buy you for the full price. Stop giving discounts to people just so you are no more lonely in life. Stop giving discounts to people just to fill a void that has grown and manifested itself in your life. No matter what scar you have, no matter what wound you are carrying, you are still 100%. Remember last week we said no one is a damaged good. No matter what has happened to you, carry yourself as 100%. No matter who broke you or what hurt you, carry yourself as a whole person. we will see the struggle, we will see the hope, we will see the determination of your wholeness, of your healing, and we will help you through it. Stop throwing pity parties, because not everyone who comes there is there to celebrate with you for your pity party. Number 4, very interesting people again. People who are on what? Lay-by. Yeah, the lay-by is a very touchy subject to women, because women, I don't know how many lay-bys you have right now. This month, pay 100 pula, next month, another 100. And this is what has happened to many people today. They are still on the shelf of life, but still accessible to the one who wants to buy. They are still on the shelf of what? Of life, but still accessible to the one who wants to buy. The buyers who want the product but cannot afford to buy it once off, they will always come once in a while to pay what they can. There are people who last texted you last year. But once they text you this year again, you jumped at that text. Lay-by. Am I wrong? Yeah. You last saw a text, they didn't even say Happy New Year to you, but 2017, hey, I miss you, you will jump at that text. They have put down a deposit that you fail to move on in your personal life. They have put down a deposit to say, listen, try moving on, you will see. Try moving on, you will see. And they come at their own free will to pay the little bill. And let me tell you what the most interesting part is. The most interesting part is that the price they are lay-buying, or the shoe, let me take it to women. The shoe they are lay-buying is not so expensive. If they had budgeted, they would pay it off monthly. But they always come back with little bits and pieces just to keep the lay-by longer. There are people who come back just to come and drop off a 50 pula in your life. A little text and I miss you. That will confuse you for the rest of the year. Because you're what? Lay-by. This has nothing to do with the product, but everything to do with the what? With the buyer. But affects the who? Affects the product at the end. The product is not wrong, but the buyer is the one who comes at his own free will. The product is only wrong when it accepts what the buyer is doing and does not put an end to it. Stop letting people deposit your life that you fail to move on based on the promise they gave you that they have broken more than once. You come back, and I'll get a bit personal here. There are people who have become abuse victims who it happens to them over and over again. You ask them, why aren't you coming out? They say, I can't live without abuse. They are beaten by the husband day in and day out. That a normal relationship where they are not beaten seems abnormal to them. Because this person has laid by them, treats them the way he wants, treats them however he sees fit, and it messes up this person's outlook towards life, that anyone who comes wanting to purchase them at the right price that they have determined themselves, they would rather hold on to the deposit that has been put on them. You will not move on. And this is a problem amongst women. You date a guy 12 years, deposited. He will sleep with you, he will do whatever he wants to do with you, but he will never commit to marriage. You will always remain on the shelf of life, and he will never take you home. Are we together? Am I getting a bit personal? I can see the faces are becoming a bit tense. Yeah, the faces are becoming a bit tense, but it's fine. It's fine. We're here to educate each other and just see what we can do about these situations of life. These are real issues that we need to address. We will never address them at church, because at church we are biblicalizing everything. Yeah, we are not talking about real issues that affect people on the day-to-day lives. We've got patients who are spiritually whole, but earthly empty. They know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, but their personal lives have got missing places. And we need to address these issues each and every day. So be careful that you're not on lay-by. Keeping a product on the shelves or in the storeroom longer than its shelf life diminishes the value of the what? Of the product. The only time a person should have full access to you is when they have satisfied and settled the bill with you. The only time you give yourself wholly to someone, the only time you give your worth to someone is only when they have satisfied the what? The bill. Stop giving yourself to people. I cannot emphasize this anymore. Stop giving yourself to people who have not valued you. They don't deserve the product until they pay the whole amount. You should, your amount should be determined, and the buyer ought to clear their bill. The buyer ought to clear their bill. Talking about these ones, number 5, the non-refundables. The non-refundables. I love these ones. These ones have got a two-way view. A two-way view. You can look at them positively, you can look at them negatively. The non-refundables. They are people who we get tired of. We can't wait until they leave. We can't wait until they are not with us. We are tired of them once they arrive. When they text you and say we are coming, you try and find ways. Even if you are home, you close the curtains, switch off the lights, close the doors, be hot in your house without an aircon just to avoid them. They can't be handled because they're what? They are too much for you. They're even too much what? For themselves. These are people you want to get rid of as fast as you can. Sadly, these are people we have purchased and some we have brought home. And now we do not know what to do with them. And where we got them from, we were told no refund. Let me get a bit personal. I can see our audience today is women. Let me get a bit personal. There are some women who, when paid lobola for, the parents celebrate. Not celebrating that they got cows, celebrating good riddance to this problem. You are lazy at home, you don't do anything, there is nothing you are good for. And they celebrate and pass the problem over to someone else. When you go back and you say, hey, as the husband, hey, your daughter, hey, no refund. They can't do anything about your problem. They have the money, you have the problem. The non-refundables. Let's look at it in the positive way. Give people your worth that they don't want to let go of you. Give people your what? Your worth that they don't want to let go of you. Let them hold on to you. Be valuable enough that whoever buys you does not want to take you back. Whoever buys you does not want to do what? Does not want to take you back. Whoever invests in you cherishes that investment because they see that you are worth it. Don't be the one who people want to get rid of. Don't be the one who is passed on to everyone day in and day out. Be the one who people want to keep. Be the one who people want to cherish. Make people appreciate your time, your presence, and your being. Be worthwhile with your time. Be worthwhile with your presence. Be worthwhile with your totality and with your being. Stop being half-hearted. Stop being discount to people that people want to take you back. The non-refundables. Be a positive non-refundable that everyone wants to keep. Add value to someone's life in any sphere, wherever you are, at home, at work, in the shop, wherever you are. Make a difference. Add value to someone's life that when people lose you, they cry. Not tears of joy to say finally they are gone, but tears of mourning and sorrow that they have lost someone who was worth it. There are some funerals that we go to just to make sure that the person is 6 feet under. Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself what? Short. If anything, at least give the buyer change. Are we together? If anything, give the buyer what? Change. Give them more because they bought you at the price you stipulated. Let them look back and say it was worth it because of the amount of love and care and compassion and everything that you are giving to them, because you have not sold yourself short. Are we together? Then the sixth people who I believe one day all of us will be is those who are paid in full. Those who no one is owing. Those who have not been labored. Those who have not lowered their price to be accepted. Those who have not been deposited to fit in. Those who are paid in full. Let the people who have access to you be people who see your worth and pay for your attention, your time, and your being. People should not half invest in you. They should not do what? They should not do half invest in you. People who have half invested in people are people who saw a half in you. They did not see the full thing. They did not see the full price. They saw a half and brought half to complete you. And these are people who usually end up controlling you, messing up your mindset, messing up who you are, because they have got a 50% share in your life. When they decide to take their 50% share and go and invest it somewhere else, you are left half. Learn to be a full being, paid in full. Let people who have your time, your attention, your being, and everything about you be people who see your worth and pay for you in full. Stop giving out this discount. Stop giving out half prices. I love it back home in Zimbabwe. There's a notion which people always sell $1 for $2. You buy something for $1, you get 2 of those things, whatever you're buying. Stop giving yourself out to people who only buy you for $1 and you give them out more. In the market of life, there is no other product like you. You are the only you, so stop trying anything you are not. If I wanted to buy a Nike, I will not look for an Adidas. If you are a Nike, you are a Nike. If you're an Adidas, you're an Adidas. Stop trying to be something you are not. Stop trying to raise your price, yet trying to be like someone else. It is possible to raise your price whilst being someone else. But at the end of the day, I carry a fake product home because what I would have wanted in you, I see in someone else. Be the real you and let people take you home the way you are. And they will be happy with what they have, paid in full. You are worth it. I need you to believe it, to breathe it, and to leave it. You are worth it. I am worth it. We all are worth it. And only those who can afford us, only those who see the worth will come and buy us. And I leave you with this question this evening. An empty price. You have the tag. What is your price tag? What amount are you going to put on the tag? What amount are you going to put for people to see in you? What amount are you going to put for people to come buy you at?
I do not want to ruin all those beautiful things he said. I just have a few announcements. I'm inviting you guys to please suggest any improvements that you think that we need to make this masterclass brilliant. And we're also selling Andy's masterclass t-shirts. They're only, is it 100 pula? 120 pula, yes. And he also has a book that goes for 160 pula. Please see any one of us and we'll organize it for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again next week. And have a lovely evening. Thank you.